boys and girls, and welcome to Tennessee's at-home learning series for literacy. Today's lesson is for all the first graders out there, though all children are welcome to tune in and enjoy today's story. This lesson is the 5th in our series. My name is Miss Clark. I'm a first grade teacher in Tennessee schools, and I'm so excited to be your teacher for this lesson. And welcome to our virtual classroom, boys and girls. Now today, we're going to continue with our fables, and we're going to get to read a new one called The Wolf in Sheep's Clothing. Now remember, when we read a fable, we pay attention to the sequence of events and the characters to help us determine the moral. And that's what we're going to be doing today. And by the end of today's lesson, you are going to get an opportunity to write the events of the fable in order today. So you be listening carefully. Now before we get started, to participate fully in our lesson, you're going to need a pencil, 2 pieces of blank paper, and a surface to write on. Now, boys and girls, if you didn't see our previous lessons, you can find it on the Tennessee Department of Education's website. But you're still more than welcome to tune in today, of course, even if you haven't seen any of the other videos. But it might be more fun to first go back and watch some of our other lessons, since we'll be talking about a text we read previously. Okay, let's get started. Now today, boys and girls, you're going to hear some very important words, very important vocabulary. Now these words, we know, help us to better understand what we're reading, and they really help us to retell the story and to write those more complex, engaging, interesting sentences. Now let's check out a few of them. The first word, boys and girls, is the word disguise. Disguise. Now that word is a noun. And a disguise, boys and girls, is an outfit that helps change your appearance or hide who you really are. So I bet every single one of you has worn a disguise before. That's right. Maybe your Halloween costume? I bet you all can make a connection with that. I know every one of you has put on a disguise before. So when you hear this word in the story, I want you to show me your disguise. You can put a mask on. And that way I know you were listening for that word and you heard it and you're thinking about a vocabulary. The next word that we're going to hear in our story is the word fleece. All right, let's say that word with me. You might have not heard that word before. 1, 2, 3, fleece. Wonderful job, boys and girls. Now this word is a noun, and fleece is a sheep's coat of wool. So it's what a sheep has on the outside of its body. It's the fur that's covering the whole sheep's body, and fleece is nice and soft and cushiony, and it's very nice to touch. So when you hear the word fleece, I want you to show me this, because fleece means something that's nice and soft to the touch. And we might hear the word fleece, boys and girls, in a sentence like this. The sheep farmer carried the fleece to the market. So we know that a sheep gives us fleece, and we can actually give the sheep kind of like a haircut like you get, and then we can actually use its fleece to produce clothing, boys and girls. So I bet you guys even might have something in your closet made of fleece, maybe a jacket, or maybe a nice cozy blanket that you have. We're also going to be hearing this word in the story, boys and girls, the word flock. All right, everybody whisper that word into your hand, and on the count of 3, I want everybody to shout it out with me. 1, 2, 3, flock. Great job. Now, flock is a noun. And a flock is a group of animals or birds. So when you hear the word flock, I want you to grab your group of animals. And it can be your favorite group of animals that you're pretending to grab. Maybe you love kitties. You're going to grab your kitties or your sheep. Okay? A flock is a group of animals or birds. And another word that we're going to hear in the story is the word pretend. And I know all of you probably heard the word pretend before. And you probably do it almost every day. When you're playing at recess or you're in your room playing with your dolls or your horses. Pretend is a verb. And it means when you try to be or act differently than what you actually are. Okay, you can pretend to be a superhero, right? Run through your house with an imaginary cape, can't you? So when you hear that word pretend, I want everybody to pretend to be a superhero. Dun, da, da. That's going to be fun. So you be listening for that word. And the last word I want you to be listening for is the word proud, boys and girls. All right, everybody whisper into your hand and shout it out. 1, 2, 3. Proud. Great. Now, proud is a verb. And proud, boys and girls, means to walk or move around quietly and searching for prey or something to eat. Okay, so if you're prowling, you might be picturing a tiger in the jungle. And I want you to do the signal when you hear the word proud, and I want you to sneak up on your prey, the animal that you're going to try to eat. Proud. Very nice, boys and girls. So I think those are going to be some really fun signals that's going to help us to remember to be thinking of those vocabulary words through our story. Now, boys and girls, I cannot wait to read some more stories with you today. And today we're going to read another fable. And today's story will be The Wolf in Sheep's Clothing. Now, as I read today, I want you to be listening for what's happening in the beginning, the middle, and the end. Now, we know that yesterday we read The Dog in the Manger, didn't we? All right, boys and girls, I want you to point to the picture of yesterday's story if you tuned in with us. Or you might be able to even guess if you didn't get to watch that video. Which one might you think would be the dog in the manger? That's right. We read The Dog in the Manger, and some of the characters were who, boys and girls? Yes, the dog and the ox, right? Now, we have been talking about fables all week, and we have been loving hearing all these fun stories. Do you remember some characteristics of a fable? I believe we've identified 3 characteristics or 3 special things that we know about a fable. Can you remember one? Go ahead and turn and share out with the person watching with you today. That's right, boys and girls. Fables are short, aren't they? They're short stories. And they teach a lesson. Awesome, boys and girls. They always teach a lesson. And yesterday, in our story, The Dog in the Manger, something else happened, didn't it? And we learned about something new. Yeah, the animals could talk. And we stretched apart that big word that means when animals talk. Personification, right? And they sometimes can have personification, which we really liked because we all love animals, especially when they talk, right? Now, today we are going to be reading a new story. And another thing that we're going to be listening for is the personification in today's story. Maybe we'll have some more personification. Maybe we'll have some more animals that are talking. So we'll find out if we have some animals talking or if the animals are doing anything like a human. They're having human characteristics. So I want you to go ahead And look at this picture, boys and girls. Look at the illustration. What do you notice? Yeah, it looks like there are some sheep. I see a wolf back in the background and a man. Maybe it's the shepherd. We learned about that vocabulary word. Yeah. So could we identify the setting, boys and girls, by looking at this picture? Absolutely. Great job. Where would we say the setting would be in today's story? In a field, maybe on a farm somewhere. Do we know that we have a farmer and an animal that he's looking after? Now, I want you to look at the shepherd. Look at that character. Remember, he's the person that takes care of sheep, right? We already talked about him. What other characters do you notice? The sheep? Yeah, they could be characters, even though they're animals. But wait a minute, boys and girls. One of those sheep looks kind of funny to me. Ah, yeah, that is not really a sheep. No, this is a wolf. Uh-oh. And we know how wolves can be in Fables, don't we, from the first story we read. Great job. What do you think is going to happen, boys and girls? Go ahead and turn and share out with the person watching with you today. Let's read and find out. Night after night, a wolf prowled. There it is. He prowled around a flock. That's right, the group of sheep, looking for one of them to eat. Uh-oh. But the shepherd and his dogs always chased him away. But one day, the wolf found the skin of a sheep that had been thrown aside. He thought. He pulled the skin carefully over him so that none of his fur showed underneath the white fleece. There's our word. Oh my goodness, boys and girls. So what has just happened? What is this wolf doing? Are you hearing any personification? He's not talking. But do you think a real wolf could do this? Pull the fleece over them as a disguise? I don't think so either. So he no longer looks like a wolf, does he? He looks just like the other sheep. The shepherd, thinking that the wolf was one of his sheep, allowed the wolf to graze on the lush grass in the pasture. And he even let him sleep in the warm barn with his sheep. Uh-oh. Give me a thumbs up or thumbs down. Do you think that's a good idea or not such a good idea? I agree. For many days and many nights, the wolf ate and slept better than he ever had. But one day, the shepherd decided to sell one of his flock at the market. The farmer thought. And he chose the biggest, fattest sheep he could find, and he brought him into town. Uh-oh, boys and girls. The farmer's going to sell one of the sheep, and he says, I'm going to choose that one. He's the biggest and the fattest in my flock. Who do you think it is? It was the wolf. That was funny, boys and girls. So the wolf thought he was pretty sneaky, didn't he? Yeah, so we can infer the moral of this story by what we learned happened with the wolf. He thought he was going to be sneaky and do what? Yeah, hang out in the barn, eat all the sheep's food, maybe even eat a sheep if he got the chance. And did that work out? Nope. Things are not always as they seem, are they? And if you pretend to be what you're not, you might end up losing in the end. Did the wolf lose? Oh, yes, he sure did, didn't he? Well, that was our moral, and that was a great moral, wasn't it, boys and girls, to remember? And if you pretend to be what you are not, you might end up losing, just like the wolf. He thought he had come up with a plan. He was going to be sneaky, but that didn't work out, did it? Now, at the beginning of this fable, boys and girls, why is the wolf disguising himself? Yes, he's going to catch the sheep, right? And he thinks he's not going to get caught, and he has a clever plan. Now, I want you to look at the illustration. Does this illustration show the beginning, boys and girls, the middle, or the end of the story? That's right. It shows the middle. Now, how do we know it shows the middle? Awesome. Yeah, because we can see that the wolf is dressed up, right? And he's being sneaky and he's hiding with all those sheep. But does the wolf's plan work, boys and girls? Why not? This is my favorite part of the story. Go ahead and turn and share with the person watching with you today. Yeah, didn't it started to work, right? Because he disguised himself and he tricked the sheep and the farmers, but in the end, he ended up being sold, didn't he? Because the shepherd was going to sell the biggest sheep for some money. So the joke was on him, right, boys and girls? Now, boys and girls, when someone wears a disguise, he or she is putting on clothing, right, and changing their appearance to look like someone else, right? Now, let's pretend to disguise ourselves. Are you ready? You have to stand up with me, and I am going to read a list of activities, and you're going to need to pretend to do them. You ready? All right. Go ahead and eat a bowl of cereal. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Great job. What about tying a shoe? Just like the wolf pretended to be a sheep and he disguised himself. Can you pretend to tie a shoe? Go. Wonderful job, boys and girls. Some of you might even be able to do that without pretending. That was really fun. So we had some great vocabulary words in the story that we learned more about that helped us better to understand the story. Now we're going to write about what the wolf did during the middle of the story. So in the beginning, we said that the wolf tried to catch the sheep, right? But the dog and the shepherd chased it away. But during the middle of the story, what did the wolf do? Yeah, he disguised himself, didn't he, as a sheep. And he had a plan. He was a little tricky, and that ended up working, didn't it? Now let's practice writing that in a complete sentence. What happened in the middle of the story? How that wolf disguised himself. So, boys and girls, I'm about to start writing my sentence, and I want you to go ahead and write along with me. So go ahead and get your pencil and your paper, and you can write your sentence at home, and I'll write mine, and then we can check our answers together and see how everybody does. So, boys and girls, what would we need to put in the beginning? That's right, a capital letter. So we're going to write about the main event, the most important event that happened in the middle of the story. He disguised himself, right? And I love how you guys are using that vocabulary word. in the story. He disguised himself. Now we have to give more details in our complete sentence. Why did he disguise himself? And what did he disguise himself as? Great job, boys and girls. He disguised himself as a sheep, right? Good. As a sheep. Good. In the middle of the story. Now, boys and girls, let's check our sentences. Let's see if you agree with me that I have a nice, complete sentence that gives details. So I started with my capital letter, and oh, I love how you guys are remembering to put your finger spaces between your words. That way we can share our writing with others. He disguised himself as a sheep in the middle of the story. And I love how we used our vocabulary word disguised. Very nice. And you guys are getting to be experts at adding that ending punctuation, that period. And you guys know exactly what type of punctuation mark to write, because we know that this is a part of the sentence or the story that's just telling a fact about something that happened in the story, a statement. So we want to put a period to make our sentence into a declarative sentence. Wonderful job, boys and girls. Now, it's your turn, boys and girls, and you're going to try a question on your own. Think back to the story. We have reviewed the events that have happened in this fable, and now your job today is to write the events that happened in the story. So I want you to think of what happened in the beginning, the middle, and the end, thinking about that plot, that peanut butter and jelly sandwich. We have to have a start, middle, and an end, right? Very nice, boys and girls. I'm so proud of you guys. And I know you will do a wonderful job retelling the story and telling me all the events that happened in it. I so enjoyed reading The Wolf in Sheep's Clothing with you today. I am so proud of you guys, and thank you for inviting me into your home. I look forward to seeing you guys in our next lesson in Tennessee's at-home learning series. Have a wonderful day.
Hey, little man, do you know what these are called? What are these? What are these called? These are letters. Letters of the alphabet. And today we're going to play a game called Stomp the Letter, where we identify letters of the alphabet, okay? Let's start with the first letter of your name, Jaden. What does Jaden start with?
J.
Can you stomp on J? Show me. Stomp on J. That was a little tiny stomp. But that is J. J for Jaden. There it is. Let's do another one. Can you identify the letter F? That's right. Can you tell me a word that starts with the letter F? F for?
Fox.
Oh, fox. That's a good one. Okay, good. Let's identify the letter M. Can you stomp on the letter M?
The W.
When you turn around that way, it does become a W. That's right.
This is M.
And now it's an M again. Can you tell me a word that starts with M?
Ham.
No, what starts with M?
Monkey.
Monkey. Good job. You did a great job identifying the letters.
that baby? Can you see that baby? Hi. I love Jays. I love Jays. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I love to hug and kiss you. I love Jace. I love Jace. Oh, look at that long tongue. What are you doing with that tongue? I see it. I see it. I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get it. What you doing? What you doing? Can we see your eyes? Look at those pretty eyes. Look at those pretty and these cheeks. I want those cheeks. I love you. Up and down. Up and down. Yay!
Hold on. You ready to have a snack? Yes?
More.
More? Okay.
More.
Let's count.
More.
1,
Day.
2,
Day.
3,
Try.
4,
5.
and 5. Want to eat one? Up. Go ahead. How many did you just eat? Did you just eat one? Okay. Let's count again. We got 1, 2, 3, 4.
5.
4. You just ate it.